Alaka Tupama Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 22, Buddha said, both formally and now, what I teach is dukkha and the cessation of dukkha. 2 points here. The second one, the noble truths of dukkha have to be understood as it really is, or it is impossible to make an end to dukkha. Samyutta Nikaya. Okay? What is dukkha? It has been translated, traditionally, the word used to replace, dukkha is translated into the word suffering. That's not quite correct. I've said this many times before. Dukkha is a spectrum of negative experiences, sensations. And it will range, and it ranges from the mildest form of negativity, mild annoyance. Can you get even milder than that? Peeved. A little irk. You can just name it, just mild. Or in our more to the point colloquial term, busong. Busong, okay? To the very intense suffering. So traditionally, the translation suffering is only one version. But the reality is, dukkha merely means everything that you experience as a negative, ranging from something very mild, annoyance, irritant, to something very intense. You are in deep pain, you are grieving, you are suffering. The extreme spectrum, 2 extreme spectrums, okay? Now, what these 2 stanzas say, first one says, I teach dukkha and cessation. Second one say, you have to understand dukkha as it really is, or you cannot stop it. These 2 tell you that it is imperative for us to see the mind and all the pain that it can present, all the stress, all the strain, in all its naked glory. Cannot try and run away from it. Our instinct, our normal day-to-day instinct, is when you experience something unpleasant, what do? We either run away from it, so we will bury it, we don't think about it. Some of us are very good at don't think about it. Some of us are not so good at don't think about it, so we get distraction, like baby and a toy, We get distracted. And we do that. You say, no, I don't. I tell you, you do. You got handphone, right? You know what we do with handphones, right? No, you don't put it in your pocket. You actually take it and play, pop, 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 pop at it. All the time. Then you say, oh yeah, because I want to know what's going on. You got so many friends, man. They text you all the time. Every time you got nothing to do, you text somebody. That's our instinct. Why are we doing that? Because we want the distraction from the mind. A lot of us do things like that. We are bored. We don't know what to do. We got too much time on our hand. We text somebody. We ping the fella. So that hopefully when somebody responds to us, we are happily distracted. We don't have to look at dukkha, right? So you either run away from it, or we just cut it off. You have an experience which is unpleasant. What do? We slice it. We don't think about it. Sometimes we tell people that don't look at it, just don't think about it. We do that. In this practice, you cannot think about it, okay? Sorry, picture. In this practice, on this path, you need to just look at dukkha as it is. Don't know why this thing's not coming out. Okay, look. And the way in which you will start to understand this concept, initially is a concept to you. Over time, it becomes something you will see as it is. And like anicca, your experience and your understanding of dukkha will morph over time. It's going to grow as you mature on the path. So your understanding will grow, and that understanding reflects your spiritual maturity. Okay? There are 3 types of dukkha. The first one, dukkha dukkhata. It's organic pain, it's a biological process, emotional attachments, craving induced. Look at what the Buddha said. Birth, hang on, let me do a laser. Birth, aging, death, they are organic process of life. It's just the way things are. And you say, well, got dukkha meh? You ask the woman in labor. And then you yourself growing old, growing sick, having all kinds of discomfort. Sometimes growing old is not a physical pain. You look at the wrinkles and the white hair, it's a mental pain. But it is still dukkha. But it is still dukkha, right? And of course, growing old has its own physical pain, because as you grow older, you take a bit longer to get up from the floor. Sometimes get down, cannot get up anymore. Very dukkha, you know. And this is just the organic process, the biological process. Then it says, association with the unbeloved is dukkha, meaning to say someone you don't like, and I ask you to just stick with the fella. It's very, jalat, very dukkha, okay? And being separated from the one you love is dukkha. In short, not getting what is wanted is dukkha. Here, the Buddha was just describing the kind of experiences that you will undergo on a daily basis in life. Nothing new. This is answering the question, what? What is dukkha? Something that we experience on a daily basis, and you have your own angst about it. Now, the 5 clinging aggregates are dukkha. This is not a summary of this. This is actually further more than this. Every time you experience some kind of dukkha, it is because certain aspects of you want something. Whether it is a pleasant sensation, a pleasant feeling, a repeat broadcast of some experiences, you want something, you don't get it, you feel dukkha. That's basically what it's saying. And this aspect, it should jump at you. In other words, if you look at what the Buddha say here, he shouldn't be saying something in your mind, it shouldn't be saying something alien. It should be something familiar. So this is what I would call the first level of understanding the word dukkha. In the same way that in anicca, there is a very conceptual, gross way of understanding anicca, there is a very simple, straightforward way of understanding dukkha. This is the first level. Okay? What is the second level? Okay, this one must switch off first, otherwise it won't work. The second level of dukkha, the second level of understanding, is viparinama dukkhata. This means change, pain of change. Change is unsettling. You see, if you start to observe your mind, if you start to look at your mind, you ask yourself this. If I keep asking you to uproot and move, do something different, every day do something different, nothing is routine, everything is changing. After a while, you will feel very unsettled. Even for the most adventurous amongst you, you will feel somewhat unsettled. Let alone the very normal fella who needs routine. How many of you would consider yourself adventurous? Nobody? Seriously? How many of you, let me ask you, how many of you find traveling a bit stressful? Not the planning part, the actual traveling part, a bit stressful. Only so few of you? So the rest of you don't plan, just leave somebody else to do the job, right? But do you find yourself having to chase after things, do things, find a place to eat, this, that? Find water, also difficult, like Norman, like that. Even if you're traveling on tour group, like what time to meet? 5 o'clock, so early. I always wake up at 7, I never wake up at 5. And then it goes on and on. Routine, change, can be very stressful. And if you were to go on a retreat, very stressful. Because you live with somebody new. You stay with somebody, right, for the first night, all this change in routine, stressful, right? Now you're beginning to see that traveling is stressful. Because usually when I don't talk about the details, you say, very nice, I actually see nice scenery, very nice. It's only when you go into the nitty-gritty, you begin to realize it's not so nice. It's stressful. Why? Why is traveling stressful? Change. It's because of change. You change your boss, stressful or not? Getting married, stressful or not? Have a children for the first time, stressful or not? Child, no. First time child. Stressful. Everything, every major shift in one's life is stressful. And it will remain stressful until you get settled into some kind of a routine. So it becomes predictable. Okay? But why do we put up with change? We put up with change because we are seeking perfection. We want something that we can enjoy. We want to get it to a point that it is at a level we like. We're seeking something, okay? And the reality, unfortunately, is change is the reality. It doesn't stop. Nothing stops. The spouse you love will grow old and die. The children, that baby you love, will grow up and argue with you. No? Scold you. What kind of a children you have? Bring them for Dhamma class. You yourself had been friends with people. And sometimes friendship lasts and sometimes friendships don't. And it is the nature of time. This kind of change is the gross type. Think about the subtle one in your mind. Feelings that keep flipping, flopping, remember? Okay. Experiences don't last, they are fleeting. So no equilibrium to speak of. It can be deeply disturbing. So viparinama dukkha, the pain of change. Okay? But at the highest level, at a deeper level, and this is the level you have to get to understand, and this is Shankara dukkha. Literally, dukkha inherent in formation, coming together. Experiences of life, being alive, coming together. Embedded in being alive is a very subtle sense of dukkha. It's very obscure, very difficult to see, but it's there. Which means to say, you go deep into your meditation, you stare carefully at the mind, and the odds are the very first time you feel the sensation of dukkha is indeed meditation. And once you see that in your meditation, you can't forget it. The problem is you can't forget it, okay? And it will spill in... Okay. Don't anyhow click. It will spill into your daily life, and then life can become very dukkha. Truly, spectacularly dukkha. I sound so gleeful. This is just not right to say dukkha with a green. Meaning to say, right, you go deep into your meditation, you look at your mind, you stare at your mind, and then you begin to realize that underpinning this awareness is a sense of dukkha. You start to see a sense, a taste of that. It's very subtle, but it's there. And once you see that in your deep meditation, it gets an imprint in the mind. This is dukkha. This is the dukkha the Buddha talks about. Dukkha is not just fighting against craving and overcoming craving. It is that the very essence of life, deep, embedded there is dukkha. Why is that? Because embedded into our DNA is the desire, the craving to be alive. You want to live. Even if you tell me you're suicidal, I don't want to live. Even when you say that, the reason why you don't want to live is because in your experience, life has lost hope. There is a lot of unpleasant experiences. If life were very pleasant and very happy, you are unlikely to be saying, I don't want to live. There's nice music here. Okay. It is unlikely that if you are experiencing pleasantness, you will think about not wanting to live. But if you are experiencing pain in a daily life, that's when you say, I don't want to live. So what it means is that it's not because you really don't want to live, it's that you are not experiencing the joy of living. It's not the same. This experience of dukkha embedded in your DNA, this experience, actually you're deep in meditation. And deep in meditation, you're feeling quite good. You're feeling good. You should, because if your meditation is done correctly, there should be the lightness in the mind, the pleasantness in the mind. You shouldn't be feeling dukkha. But yet, you go really deep, you will see it right there. When you see right there, then you have to ask yourself, what's going on? Here I am feeling very good and all. Why is there this tinge of it? That's because embedded in your DNA is the desire for life, for living. Where there is craving, there will be the sensation of dukkha. You see that, and then what will happen is, when you come out of meditation, it literally will follow you into your daily life. Follow into the daily life. And if you say, I now realize that the very fabric of life is dukkha, do we still want to continue? Okay? I'm not trying to depress you. I'm trying to tell you that this is what the Dhamma says. This is what the Dhamma says. Which is why the Buddha, in his time when he was teaching the students, he kept telling them, see the dukkha, understand the dukkha, feel it, look at it, understand, realize it as it is. Realizing it as it is, come on, we have lived through so many years. Even babies will tell you got dukkha. So cannot be that it's so straightforward, right? You know what I'm saying? It cannot be that it's all about knowing that there is dukkha. It cannot be, because knowing that there's dukkha, you experience through life. Just this morning, you had some kind of dukkha already. No need to morning. Right now, sitting down here, the leg getting cramped, already got dukkha. Yes? So it has to be more than that, and therefore it is this. Shankara Dukkhata is it. It's embedded in you, the desire for life, no matter how, it is there. Someone described it as a swanness. And it is there. Swan. We just mix the English and the Chinese words. In case you're wondering what it means, it's an English word and a Chinese. Oh, yeah, it's Chinese word and an English tag on. So there is a swanness in it, okay? Only in this audience you get it, okay? Why? Someone got a better expression, right? Singlish, ah? Okay, Singlish. Okay. Now, we must not invent too many words. Oh, sorry, you see my last question here, do we still want to continue? Maybe, because there's no wisdom. Meaning to say, we don't get it. We don't get it, and because we don't get it, no wisdom, no panya, we say, it's okay lah, continue. That's why the Buddha had said, one asava that chain us to rebirth is avidya. Avidya, ignorance. Get it? Is because we have ignorance, we don't see this dukkha, we don't realize this dukkha, we don't feel it intensely. Very often you have sufficient enjoyment to balance off the dukkha. Can one more round, try again, and we go on. But the day that it really hits us deep enough, this dukkha, if it hits us deep enough, we may stop. Buddha's words. The lack of complete understanding of dukkha is the reason why we are still delighting in volitional formations. Okay? Why delighting in the volitional formations will continue, and therefore lives continue. Samyutta Nikaya. Do you understand this phrase? Buddha said it is because you never saw dukkha properly. You see dukkha dukkhata, you're very happy. You must go on to see viparinama dukkhata, and you have to see Shankara dukkhata. 3 of them. All 3. After you have seen all of them, then you come and tell Buddha, yes or no, is it worth continuing? Buddha says you don't have a complete understanding. That is why we are still delighting in volitional formation. What is volitional formation? You make choices. We make choices to continue with life. What are the choices? It may well be choices for enjoyment, choices to support our belief in the self, choices about views that we hold on to, about pride that we want to hold on to, all kinds of choices. Volitional formations are just choices. And we delight in them. Why do we delight? When you choose, you are going to choose things you enjoy. Things that happen to you, you don't enjoy, they happen to you. You didn't ask for them. No one asked to fall down. Yes? You did. Seriously? When you choose something to eat, that is a volitional formation. You choose to eat that. If it turns out to be bad food, you are sway. It's another word. It's unlucky. That happened to you. You didn't choose bad food. Agree? So volitional formation is just choices, and choices are usually something we enjoy, therefore delighting in it. And as long as you continue to delight, the word is just continuing to delight, you will continue to live. Lives continue. Buddha's words, lives continue. You are chained to samsara. Okay? So, maybe you will choose to continue, but maybe you will not. There will be some who will adamantly seek the way out once they see the dukkha. Buddha called them wise. Okay? I will give it all to you. We have to recognize and realize that dukkha is an integral part of life. You have to realize that. so that all the temporary gratifications and delights you may not feel that it's worth your while to continue in samsara. That's the trade-off. Do you understand what I'm saying here? If you don't see the dukkha being the very fabric of life and existence, if you don't see that, then you will say all the gratifications, all the delighting, the enjoyments, make it worthwhile. I have 1 minute pain, I got 365 days, not minutes, 365 days of delight. Then you will say, it's okay, I will risk the pain. But if I were to say to you, you think about it, you don't really know what lives you will appear as. You really don't know how you are going to live in future lives, that we could end up really bad state and suffer for a really long time and may never get out for a long, long time. Then you start to think twice. Beings live on hope, you see. And it is the hope, the optimism that says it's okay, risk it, just for that cheap thrill of the fun, just for the delight, the enjoyment, just risk it. The fact that we tell ourselves it's okay, we can risk it, right? That in itself is ignorance. It's the lack of wisdom. It's avijja. The very fact we say chance it, try, it's okay. I Buddhist what, practice so hard one, should be okay, yeah. Life 2, okay. You guarantee life 2 will lead to life 3, okay. Or 4, or 5, or okay. Don't know, maybe you're very kilat. Maybe not. Maybe life 2 already not okay. You see what I'm saying? So, Buddhism, realistic. We're very realistic about things. We should be very practical about things. And then, if we understand the Dhamma correctly, then we try to practice. And hopefully get this thing. Now, I have a choice. I can continue to anatta, or I can stop here. And the reason why I think I should stop, I've actually decided I think I should stop, is because anatta is tough. Anicca, impermanence, dukkha, which you would have experienced. Anicca and dukkha for sure. The first level, you would have experienced it. The level where it says, yeah, things are changing. Yeah, I'm having dukkha. That part, first level, it's easy to experience. It's easy to see. Most of you, if not all of you, would have no quarrels with those. But anatta, tough lah, huh? That one, probably many of you wouldn't have seen it. Probably lah. So that anatta, I'm proposing we do it next week. Next week we will do anatta, and I will show you how the Four Noble Truths come together, and then we'll talk about conditionality. Why conditionality? It's going to be heavy. Next week is going to be very heavy. Okay?